Okay, so that should work.
We're here.
We're here.
Hello.
And guess what?
Oh, hi.
It does. Everything works this morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. We are here to play onward into our 48-hour, into their 48-hour extravaganza. We'd like to first thank all of you. You guys are so great for being here. Gosh darn. Good morning. I can't say that enough. I'm like running so fast with Mouseguard today, and I have all these lovely people here to help me do it. Let's go ahead and just thank everybody for being here. Thank the sponsors for the show. And if you like, you could donate as well to give some extra dice and other various fun things to our players. And well, Mouse Master, I guess, is how we're coining it. Go ahead and check out those links in the chat if you like, as we settle down into a world you may not understand, because there are no dragons here. There are no orcs, goblins, kobolds, or other handsome monsters. Instead, there's just cute and cuddly mice and possums. Because we're playing Mouseguard.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
Squirrels! Not anymore. You took care of that last game.
Yeah,
So,
we did.
let me just catch you guys up in case you are new to Mouseguard, or if my players are new to Mouseguard, which I think all of you are sort of versed, but we're just going to double check. We're playing Mouseguard, a role-playing game based on the comic books by David Peterson. It is a world in which there are mice. These mice are this big, and they are brave. They are smart. They are cunning. They are snacks for basically everything that lives in the mouse territories. But thankfully, the mice of the territories have something no other mice has: the Mouseguard. That's right. Our cloaked fuzzy fellows are going to be adventuring forth to protect their fellows. And I would like us to go ahead and drop into this game with a few introductions. I'm going to be a Mouse Master, and these are my players. Let's go ahead and bounce between each of you. I'd like you to introduce your mouse. Tell us what color their fur is, what rank they are, and if they have a particular belief and instinct that you'd like to share, which I want you to share. Please do. Let's go to Paladin Hulk. Tell us about your good buddy, Micey Mouse.
I'll be playing Lloyd. He is a guard's mouse, and his fur is a beautiful blonde, and he's wearing a brown, I think it was, a wooden brown cloak, so he can use it to hide, because that's his instinct. Whenever anything happens, anything at all, he ducks and hides behind things. Avoiding danger is always good. And my belief as a carpenter is that the only thing that can really keep you safe in this incredibly dangerous world is to build walls you can hide behind.
This is fun. This is nice. We'll see if that holds true to where I send you. Let's go to Pangalactic. We kind of know Faulkner from previous.
We do.
Literally not too long ago, but
Literally
go ahead and give us
ago.
Has he changed at all? Did you change your belief and instinct? Just a little? Tell us!
Just a touch. So Faulkner is a grey mouse. He's a guard mouse with a nice, lovely green cloak. He's just got back from killing a squirrel. Previously, his belief was that unnecessary risks are foolish, and that the Mouseguard can't survive if foolhardy mice get themselves killed. He's mellowed a little on that now. They took a big risk not so long ago, and it paid off in a big way. He still thinks unnecessary risks are stupid, but he recognises that sometimes you have to take a big risk for a big reward. But his instinct still is, once the decision has been made, he acts without hesitation, and that has only been reinforced after the squirrel episode.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Are you a little too confident?
Maybe a little too confident. We'll see. He might be about to get the shit kicked out of him in a big way.
Well, we know one person who's going to be kicking the shit out of all of you is Abigator. Tell us about your mouse, because I have never dealt with a grandma mouse before.
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
played us this
my mouse, my mouse is an old fur named Eugenia. She is a patrol leader. She has been in the guard for a very long time. She has seen many things. She is, she has almost gray fur. It's very, it's not like shiny. She's not very, she's not like a classy old lady. You know what I mean? She's not like the type of lady who walks around with like a cocktail or something. No, she's very much
a loud hat. You don't have a loud hat?
No, I do not have a loud hat. What I picture her is she has a loud stick that she walks around with, but that's about it. And she is, she's kind of known as, she's always been a bit odd, but in her old age, she's gotten kind of steadily more senile, I guess. She's patrol leader, I'm guessing, mostly just because she's been there for a real long time, right?
He seems
They're just waiting for that one mission that's gonna...
She talks to herself, she yells at the sky, and her belief
And the sky
is
listens.
and the sky listens sometimes. Her belief is live twice by living well, and her instinct is to I haven't come up with an instinct, but I will.
Do you want it to predict the weather every morning? Because I know you want her to do weather stuff.
Yes. It's going to be something with the weather. It's going to be something with looking up the sky. Predicting the weather every morning. Sounds good. I am the weather. But
And
yes,
now we shall go to... Oh yeah, Boganova. We also have experienced Volker. Would you like to tell us what has changed or not changed?
Oh no. Volker, being the old fur that he is, it takes more than a little scuffle to change his beliefs. Yeah, he's set in his ways. For those of you who weren't here before, Volker's he's an old fur. He's coasted through his career for the most part, and he's a patrol guard. He is also grey fur and is showing his age. It's getting dry and a bit nasty. As for, he also wears a faded purple cloak, as demonstrated by the towel I went and snatched from my bathroom between games. His beliefs, his beliefs is that there are many old mice and many bold mice, but not very many old bold mice, and he stands by that. And his instinct to enhance this is for he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. So he's not above getting his hands dirty to save a town from a flying squirrel, but at the same time he's not going to fucking die for it either. So, you know, he tries to ride that line.
It's a tough line.
We'll
see where you land. They're
Yeah.
digital. I have the pleasure of mouse mastering for you. Would you like to share a little bit about your mousey?
So Luke is a very eager young guardsman. He's like 19, you know. He just got to being a guardsman. He spent a lot of his childhood working on weapons and stuff, and eventually he started looking outside. He became more distracted, and he started venturing out. He began wandering the wild. He's got a green cloak now to, like, fade in with the grass. And his belief is to always bring honor to the guard, as his family has been in the guard for many generations.
Nice.
So he's got a legacy to live up to.
That's
His
a good
instinct
one.
as an eager scouting mouse is to always investigate unusual things, whether that's seeing something in the corner of his eye and not being entirely certain, or there might be something suspicious going on in a town. He will investigate it.
All right. We'll see if this... Oh, it's a lot to work with. Let's just go ahead and open up with our two previous players. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys in on a little secret. It is no longer summer. We are fast-forwarding straight to fall. You have probably adventured on different patrols with each other. because of your enormous success in White Pine. And you've come to Lock Haven at the tail end of summer, and you've stayed there until the ending of that season, and now you move into the delightful time of fall. The leaves turn that wonderful color, and you move into a strange passage of time. You are in Lock Haven, and the ivy is dry, crinkly, and the rocks that this citadel is built into is chill to the touch, especially on nights. Lock Haven is the home of the Mouseguard. It is where you all live and part from. All of you, eventually on this particular day, are called to the Matriarch's office, in which you know you will not be here for long, because the Matriarch has a mission for you. So I imagine each of you get a tender paw going,
Hey, you have a mission.
Oh, we might get another mouse. Oh my gosh.
Strength in numbers.
Oh my god, we
Yes.
might have another mouse.
Wow.
Is it true?
Do it.
Is it true?
A whole lot of mice.
Another one of us. One of us.
Because I almost skipped the guard zone. Now, two of you have already taken the guard zone. If we get Mage Hand Press in here, we will take the guard zone when we listen to what he has to say.
Aye.
Oh my gosh, Mage Hand Press, how are you?
I'm almost awake.
Almost awake? Well,
That was
guess
hours ago.
what? You're about to get super, super stoked. Introduce
Awesome.
yourselves.
So I'm Mage Hand Press, and I'm playing Seth, who has the belief that territories do not serve the guard serves the territories. And his instinct is to protect all others in danger. He is of the rank Patrol Guard.
That's a good one. You're moving up that ladder. Now,
Yep.
I'd like to know, is this your first time playing Mouseguard? Who
is.
has the first time playing Mouseguard? Wait, why am I raising my hand? Wouldn't that be a twist?
That would be a big twist.
It's my first time too. No.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
go ahead
actually, I was saying I actually fell asleep at my computer last night reading this book, trying to learn as much as I could.
Ooh.
It
We'll
is-
see how much stuff.
It is going to be
You're in good
an
hands.
amazing time. You're in good hands. We won't roll dice yet. I will let you know, because this game is played in two phases: the Game Master's turn and the player's turn. Right now, we are about to enter the Game Master's turn. Each of you has been summoned to the Matriarch's office. The Matriarch, Gwendolyn, leader of the Mouseguard. She sits inside her office at her desk. In front of her lies a table with a map of the territories spread across its surface, various tokens now receding away from the territories as winter gets closer, where every mouse will have to save and preserve themselves inside their hovels in order to keep warm and stay alive and stay away from those nasty predators that come out during the cold winter time. But we're not there yet. Fall still has little teeny bits that need to be nipped at. They need to be finished. And Gwendolyn looks to each of you and says, "Good morning."
Good morning.
I imagine you're all expecting to go on a mission.
Yes.
That's
This
what I was
is
told.
something that I do not see as vital to the upcoming winter, but it is something I believe is necessary. especially for where the Guard stands now. We are several years after the Winter War. The scars of that brutal fight against the weasels to the west is heavy. And all of you know that the Winter War was a few years ago. The weasels of Darkheather to the west reached out from their tunnels, led by a fierce weasel general, and tried to take over the territories and turn the mice of this land into basically free food that they would raise and breed for an endless supply for their growing empire. The mice banded together with the Mouseguard and drove them off, but at heavy cost. Some of you might have lived through this time. Some of you might have served in this fight against the Weasel King. And now Gwendolyn leans forward and says, I'm ordering the lot of you to enter the Darkheather tunnels.
What?
I wish for you, yes. Because it has come to light that some of our fallen and their belongings have been coming out of those harrowing tunnels. I would like you to set forth and find a dumping ground. And she shudders and says, they're known as the Mountains of Darkheather. Colossal mounds of mice. Some belonging to those who were prey before the Winter War, but there was a patrol that fought there at one of these mountains. I would like you to recover their remains and what are now considered relics, because I fear there is a group of mice who are robbing this battlefield. I would like you to bring justice if you can. I do not wish for you to go too deep. Merely find the remains of this patrol. 5 mice in total. You will know them by their cloaks, by their weapons. Do not wish for them to fall into unsavory hands. Pause, excuse me. And she says, are there any questions?
You want us to avoid fighting the weasels, right?
Most certainly. Hopefully, the region of the tunnels you are entering...
I'll sit
you are entering have been abandoned, so hopefully you will not run into any weasels that may still infest these tunnels. But you should be careful all the same.
With a like a tangible look of the word escapes me. With like a look of sort of contemplation, Volker would say, these mice whom we are repatriating, might I ask, who were they? Because he's old enough to have been serving at the time, so he's obviously a bit concerned about...
Yeah, she realizes that, and she says, well, they were known as the Lone Star Patrol, led by Basil. There were 2 tenderpaws among them. Who did more than many other guard mice could during this war, and they held the tunnel that I am sending you to the last mouse. Had they fallen earlier than they had, we would not be here today.
It's always such
I
a
remember
shame Tenderpaws die.
Yeah, she does say that she definitely wants the Tenderpaws remains because she wants to honor them in the way a guard mouse should, because they earn their cloaks in death, and she wishes to give them to them in light of their achievements. No mouse left
These mice
behind.
shall be recovered.
Thank you.
You can
As the
rely on
voice
us to
of
keep an
Finger.
eye open and bring them back safely.
Bring yourselves back safely as well. These mice are from all over the territories. Copperwood, Lone Pine, Darkwater. Even one from here, Lockhaven. Their leader, Basil. Wish you all luck. And thank you. And with that, she turns to Eugenia and says, you will have seniority here, as well as leadership. Lead them well.
Of course,
She leans
matriarch.
back. Dismissed. You may all now write goals for this session.
God.
A goal is something you want to achieve by the end of the session. This can be done in the GM's turn or the player's turn. Sometimes it has to be done in the player's turn because you have a specialized goal. But we're going to write those now before we set out, because I'm going to need a Pathfinder check to find the entrance to this Dark Heather tunnel.
Holy,
This Pathfinder
this was
check
not
is
what
going...
I was expecting.
No, I bet not.
No.
This is Obstacle 5 Pathfinder.
Ooh.
This is difficult. I might make it Obstacle 6, depending on how this Weather Watcher goes, Abigator. So let's go ahead and start out with sort of like a teaching moment. In Mouseguard, we use a pool of 6-sided dice. Abigator, what is Eugenia's Weather Watcher?
5.
5?
Dang.
I'm not messing around.
Fall has 5 as well. So guess what?
Mm.
We're going to be rolling 5 dice. Do you have your fantasy grounds all working?
I believe so.
Okay, you're going to write
Maybe.
/die, as in
Okay.
you die,
Yeah.
and you're going to do 5d6 after that.
Before she does, is it possible, because my character's also a Weather Watcher, can he support, and also he happens to have a friend here who is also his previous mentor, who is also a Weather Watcher.
Look at you.
Could I-
bring in things from last session.
Hey, I don't know if you've heard this, but I'm a veteran at this point, all right? And no, yeah.
We're going to have the best weather forecast a mouse can have.
Yeah. So I just like to think, like, because we're all 3 of us would be old first, so we're all standing there like all,
Oh,
you know, like having a
Hunched
natter over
over.
a cup,
Beautiful. So proud.
having a little disagreement on what it means. There should be
Yeah.
a couple of +2s, I hope.
I will allow you to help. I'm going to say your mentor is a little busy right now.
Okay, cool. No worries. I can accept that.
All right. So I got
Just
66.
because I want to show, this is how helping dice works. If you have a skill that is related to the test and you can justify it in roleplay, you may give 1d6 to your ally. So, Eugenia, you're rolling 6 dice now.
Okay.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
That'll do, pig.
So, Eugenia, you look up to the sky. What do you do? As your patrol sets forward into out of Lockhaven, I should say.
After discussing with the other Faulkner?
Volker. Nah, Volker.
Faulkner?
Faulkner's the younger one.
Yeah.
So Folker.
Volker,
So after
yeah.
kind of discussing with Folker a little bit, she looks up at the sky, sniffs. Yes. The weather do I know what the weather's gonna be like? Is it gonna be clear? Is it gonna be...
I was going to say it was going to rain, but you might be able to yell at the sky and make it rather a little windy.
Okay.
Instead. It's going to be a cloudy day, I expect, but not as terrible as you might have imagined.
The way Folker helps, he comes up and goes,
I think it might be raining. It always makes my hip a bit sore when it rains, you know.
I can feel it in my bones, yes. So she kind of she has like a walking stick, and she waves it at the sky. She says, "Damn you, it will not rain! We are on a mission! You cannot, no, not today! Save it for later." She kind of turns to everybody. "It should be good for our journey. Maybe a bit cloudy and windy, but other than that, we should be good."
What hometown are you from? I want to know.
Port Sumac.
Because Port Sumac?
Yes!
Of course.
Woo-hoo!
Of course you would be from Port Sumac. I love it. Okay, so
Awesome.
the obstacle for your Pathfinder is 5. Who would like to attempt to find this tunnel into Darkheather?
I've got a pathfinding 3.
Yeah,
I do as well.
I've only got
Lots of
Pathfinder
threes.
2, but I'm willing to help with. I've got Trailwise, so I'm assuming that
That's
can
right.
help.
I've
You
got
can also help
Scout
with your
which could
wises.
help as well. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a
So
set of
between-
5. That's my thing, so...
Between Luke and Seth, which one of you probably wants to step up and take pathfinding duties? Otherwise, Eugenia will have to decide.
Yeah.
Luke doesn't mind. He's used to it.
Seth, what do you say to that?
I'll say that I will be happily assist him. My focus is going to be on protecting, not necessarily on leading.
Ah. All right.
Mhm.
That's not too definitive. Both of you are kind of like, I don't mind if he goes. So,
Someone
Eugenia.
just do the pathfinding. I don't care who does it. Somebody do it. We are wasting daylight.
Okay, Luke will take point of that.
Luke, do it.
Okay.
That's
So,
Nice these
just-
days.
all
He
right.
happily like walks off to the front and like starts looking.
All right, so you
Uh,
have 3, right?
Yes.
And you're going to get helping dice from Faulkner with Scout. Seth, do you want to use your Pathfinder to give him some help?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
Lloyd, do you have anything?
I
I'm gonna
use my scout
survivalist
instead of
to,
pathfinding.
Oh,
signify-
actually, huh?
I'm going to use Survivalist to signify that I'm carrying the packs of the older mice.
It sounds like laborer.
Oh.
Damn it.
Too bad. You don't have the best skill.
I do have laborers. No, I don't have labor. I don't.
So, Luke,
I was,
we'll probably have a scout check upcoming, but you can't say you scout to the Dark Heather tunnel. You want to use skills kind of like verbs. So if we have to get somewhere, we want to say, I will find my way.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Although 5 scout is quite potent. So I think you have 4 helping dice, unless... No, right now you have 3. Does Fulker and Eugenia want to help? Because you're
Fulker
helping with
definitely
Trail Rise, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Eugenia?
So I can either help with instructor, as I don't know. So she's probably like giving maybe unneeded advice in the background, like, now look at the path. Do you see where it is a little bit more trodden? You see, that is where you should be looking, Luke. Not no, not over there. You look straight ahead. You see where that is. That is what you should be looking for. So
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
I can help with that.
And with that, I think you have 5 helping dice. This is lots of dice.
Wow.
So go ahead.
Then.
Go ahead and give that a throw.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 3 successes. This is fun. So, unfortunately, you don't have any 6s, and you don't have enough successes. So this is what will happen. I can either do one of 2 things when you fail. I can either give you a condition like hungry and thirsty, tired, sick. I can make you guys like really, really, really tired after all that marching. Or I can invoke a twist. A twist is like a new layer added to this mission, this complex job that you have to do. So what I want to do is everybody tell me your goals. Let's all share our goals and find out where we stand. So Luke, since you made this roll, do you want to tell us what your goal is?
Since Luke was born and raised in Lockhaven, he has grown up with Guard's honor. And because his family and stuff are all in the Guard, or have been, he wants to bring back the Tenderpaws remains no matter what. He will bring honor to them and their sacrifice.
That's nice. All right. And Volker, what's this old fur feel?
He's got 2 goals. He's still got the big one from last time, underlined 3 times, don't die. And then there is bring honor to his fallen comrades, whether that be repatriate them or, avenge them, whatever.
Okay.
Just 'cause he's old and he feels a connection, like,
You probably fought in the Winter War.
Yeah. So it's to him. This is a bit personal.
Yeah.
So Lloyd, I can only imagine what your goal.
No, my goal is I'm worried about these old furs that we have with us, and my goal is to help them get back. That's the goal. Get them back in one piece.
Let's not have any more heroic sacrifices, right?
Yeah, none of that.
Right. Faulkner, what do you got?
So Faulkner's got 2 goals. One bigger goal. After the events in White Pine, he was told there might be a promotion in his future in Winter, so he wants to acquit himself well and maybe secure that and rise up the ranks. But he also he wants to earn Volker's respect a bit more. He kind of he took a big risk last time and it paid off, but he could see that Volker didn't really approve of it quite so much. He wants to earn the old guy's respect.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eugenia, you're leading this patrol. What kind of goal do you want to have?
To bring the patrol back to Lockhaven safely. As much as she does appreciate the quest that Gwendolyn has set them on, she knows that there is more. There is better things than sacrificing oneself for the honor or remembrance of mice who have already passed on. The physical remains might not mean that much, but if it means risking the safety of my patrol, that's not happening. So she's very much, yes, this patrol is this quest is important, but your lives are all important too. So damn it, I'm gonna bring you all back alive and happy.
Yay.
Lovely.
No mouse left behind.
No mouse left behind.
Now we have our
Hopefully.
last mouse, Seth. What have you got in store for us?
So, as I believe that my instinct is to protect those around me, my goal is to make sure that every single living mouse comes back alive and well from this expedition.
Okay.
Because
that's very nice.
Winter is coming soon, and the guard will be needed to protect the territories.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. You guys are gonna be able to discover this Dark Heather tunnel. When you come upon it, it is kind of like on the map. but it's not very well. It's difficult to notice, Luke. But you sort of pick out some like landmarks, and you finally notice that there is a piece of this grassy knoll that you see where there is like a stone structure, almost like a stone entrance. And you see mixed into the dirt is some flagstones on the ground, and they're just sort of like ripped in half over time by the weeds and other things that grow in them. And this stench of old weasel is just wafting up from this tunnel that you discover, this dark path that descends into the dark heather territory.
I don't suppose we could go around.
If you go around, you imagine you might have to pass through the scent border. The scent border being the only thing that keeps wolves and bears out of the territories.
Volker pauses for a moment by this entrance and sort of sniffs and curls his nose up. He sort of turns to Eugenia and he's like,
It's been some time since that stench has pervaded our senses, has it not, sister?
It does not bring back very fond memories. And Eugenia kind of turns to the patrol. Now, for those of you who did not personally witness the Weasel War, there, of course, you have heard stories. However, I want to prepare you. The stories of Darkgather are not pleasant, and I fear what we shall find in these tunnels. I want you to prepare your mind and to harden your heart. This will be a tough mission.
All right. You descend. I need a scout check.
Yep. Okay.
Who?
I have
has a
scout
good
2.
scout?
Better scout.
Scout 2. Lucas, scout 5. Anybody got higher than 5?
2.
2? Okay.
3.
Here's what I got for you.
It's going to be a rather interesting obstacle. It's going to be a versus test. I'm not going to tell you what is. I'm not going to tell you what is versus you right now, but it's going to be interesting. We're going to see if anything stumbles upon you or if you stumble upon it. Your goal is to find the mountain of Darkheather. So let's go ahead, gather your dice. Everybody offer helping dice if you can. Trails-wise probably won't work in Darkheather.
Right. Will weather-wise work? I mean, weasel-wise.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, tongue-tied.
By the way,
I have weasel-wise 3.
Yeah, wises can be used as helping dice to avoid any bad things from a twist or a condition if someone fails. So that's a really good wise to have. So you have +1 right now from Weasel Wise. Luke, who else wants to help?
Do I also give pluses from my scout skill as well, or only from one or the other?
Yeah, you can only help with one skill or wise.
Okay.
I've got scout that could help, possibly.
Okay, so you're also keeping an eye out. How are you doing that? Because now you're not moving through the wilderness. You're moving through rooms, tunnels, corridors.
Yeah.
A society that has been abandoned.
Is it dark down here?
Yes.
Would Nightwise help?
I will say yes. Very tentative yes. A very tentative yes.
That's fine, I will take that.
Is this an old town or settlement, is it? Like, is there a bit of history in this place?
It's very old. There's lots of history.
Okay.
There's like murals on the.
All right. I've got lore mouse. Could I hypothesize that I know a bit about this place because I've heard things and there's a bit of history and that kind of helps us guide our way through, maybe?
You know what? Yeah, that's really smart. I will allow that.
Choice.
Because this is a fabled tunnel. This is a fabled battle. Yeah. So you have 3 helping
As
dice
he's walking
right now.
along, he's almost like,
And then here is where brother so and so fought, and they came from afar.
you know, he's guiding them through like a historian, as old folk like to do.
Oh, that's so good. Lloyd, do you have anything?
I'm scared of the dark, so I'm going to use my widget wise to like cobble together a little lantern and then give it to Luke.
Your widget wise is back with a frenzy.
I love it so much.
Gosh,
It's not a
It's
good
so
lantern,
cute.
but it'll work.
that's amazing. Eugenia, do you have anything? Or are you sitting back? I'm telling
I
you,
can
this is
use
Dark
something,
Heather.
but-
It's bad.
Yeah. I can stretch. Maybe I might be able to stretch helping dice. I could either do instructor again, or I could use my laborer skill.
Here we go, carrying
And-
packs again.
I can
Laborer's,
carry some packs. I can move any debris that's in the way. It's a very useful skill for
It is.
And
Whenever
Or
a player
aces.
says a skill is useful, it's normally when a GM says it's broken, I've noticed.
this has been
This is
an
the-
ongoing.
This is the
thing
only
with
problem
her.
with Mouseguard. Only problem. Labor can be used for anything. Fine, you get a helping dice. Luke, you have 5 helping dice, so you're rolling 10 dice, I think.
I'm gonna
But
need it
guess
for
what?
my dice luck, apparently.
Watch me fuck it up.
Apparently
This
so.
can't possibly
Oh, yeah.
fail.
Alright, I'm not
I'm
gonna...
gonna roll mine. Okay. 1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Okay. I will roll 8d6. And then I'm going to roll 6d6 for something
Ooh.
else. Because there is more than one thing down here.
Of course.
Boo!
So, let me tell you what Dark Heather looks like. It is cramped. It is musty. It is rank with the stench of weasel. And you... Did you hear that?
Hello?
It
There are
is
more days.
apparently filled with cats. It is... Thanks for
That's
ruining
not
the
good because
mood.
we're mice.
You see, that's how they get you, because you're not expecting a cat, you're expecting a weasel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This
The
is the
cat just
true
like,
enemy.
No one expects
There
the feline
are-
Inquisition.
There are... I'm trying to set the mood! There are... There's an eerie silence, and every step you make, the clatter of your little toes on the stone floor just fills this whole trip with an uncomfortable level of what's around the next corner. Luke, it's very, especially with the dim light of the lantern, trying to cut through the darkness. It's almost as though the instant it's there, it gets swallowed up. And you come across various tunnels and rooms that, from time to time, you think you see something moving. And then it turns out to be just like a stray beetle or a worm that has eased its way through the ceiling as Dark Heather decays from the inside, as the walls begin to seep dirt, insects, and weeds that have made their way in.
These walls are
Ew.
terrible.
Yes, it's very spooky. You also come across skeletons, weasels, no mice. Obviously, This was considered a last bastion for some weasels trying to hold the line of the mice who turned the tide. And then you feel a draft, Luke. You move towards it. You come through a room where there are grand pillars, and beyond them you can see a railing. And the railing curves downward. And as you all come towards this descent, this long stairway that leads down, you see a light from above. Daylight seeping down into dark heather. The light of the sun hits bones. White bones. Seemingly hundreds of them. Piled into the center, past this railing, into a room that seems cavernous. A mountain of picked, clean corpses.
Oh god, you really weren't kidding when you said, oh dear.
How could there be so many?
Loremouse, Volker, the mountains of Dark Heather are places in Weasel society where prey is dumped once it has been stripped of all its uses. They are piled in this way so that their spirits may rise back to the surface so that they may reincarnate and continue to feed the weasels. If they do not, then their spirits will haunt Dark Heather forever. This is a sacred place.
The weasels is sought to ease their guilt by making this, saying that we will be reincarnated. This is nothing but slaughter and death.
This is horrible.
Oh god.
You hear this mournful sound.
Can we figure out where it's
Who
coming
goes
from?
there?
From
I'm out.
The light!
Light is like, nope.
Yeah. Luke, you hear a mournful sound. A wail in the depths down this stairwell. What do you do?
Shit.
Oh, I'm gonna investigate. That's
Right.
very
Luke,
unusual.
you start to hurry down the stairs, the steps seemingly kicking up a cloud of dust with every motion you make. It follows you, and you see in the streams of daylight a figure running from one hall at the base of this mountain to the next, seemingly in a panic.
Do I know, is it just a vague figure? Or
It is a big figure, but then you sort of notice that it has a small shape. You don't think it's a weasel.
guys, I think there might be a mouse down here.
Alive?
Vultures. Picking apart the ruins. The ones we're here to stop, perhaps.
Yes, then we should go and have a closer look, right?
Yes,
Caution.
but carefully.
Caution.
Be on your guard.
All right.
Frankly, if he is running from some sort of danger, well, if he wishes to pick upon our venerable dead, let him suffer.
Yes, but he might lead us to the others. He might lead us to the relics that we're here to reclaim.
And he might lead us into danger. Caution.
Can we please not kill him? This hall has seen so much death already. Please?
We shall see what happens, Lloyd.
All right.
And you see,
do not have to.
You see this figure turn, hearing you're talking, and it reaches for its hip and pulls out something, a long, what looks like club, and begins to sort of click, and panting feverishly as it lights a torch and holds it out in front of it, and it's a mouse wearing a short cloak and a hood.
I'm going to approach it with my shield out, my hand on my axe, but not pulled out quite yet. Who are you?
Who are you?
We mean
We're
you no
sent by
harm.
We are more than you, so we ask the questions.
Don't talk to me like that.
Guys, don't be so
This
aggressive.
is no place for mice. What are you doing here?
Indeed, it is not a place for mice. We could ask you the same question. We are here on a mission from the matriarch. What are you doing here?
I lost my family. Have you seen anyone else around here?
Oh.
And he wheels around as a noise seemingly catches his ear. But you all are pretty certain you might not have heard something, but he begins wheeling around wildly. There's something in the tunnels.
Can I use my persuader skill here to get him to calm down?
Sure. It'll be obstacle free, because that is his will.
If anyone would like to help me, my persuader is only 2, so...
I can help you with persuader as well. Unless somebody else wants to help with that.
Yeah, I have persuader as well. But...
Okay, you can help with persuader. I'd be able to help maybe with healer. I don't know if this is some kind of it seems like he's pretty distraught, and I'm not sure if healer would come with like any kind of like mental healing, because this guy looks pretty traumatized.
Maybe you have some like crystals you could give him. Like, here, you need some good energy. I don't know.
That would totally be you, like, this is some hail that is from the summer of 50 years ago. It shall bring you mental healing and peace.
This is possum whiskers. They're good for your aura.
Would I be able to use my
energy.
guard's honor to reflect that I'm a trusted guard in society and be able to help convince that we're trustworthy?
If you were rolling for this, you could use guard's honor as a trait to help yourself, but only skills can help other players.
And
Okay.
I have 2 traits that actually I was about to ask. I have Guard's Honor and I have Scarred. I would like to use Guard's Honor to show my trust, and Scarred to relate to this clearly disturbed person.
Okay, so you can only use 1 trait per roll, and by the way, you can only use 1 trait to help yourself per session. So once you use it, you can use it for the rest of the session. Also, I'm going to go ahead, because we have 6 players, I'm going to limit helping dice to 3 people. Because
Sounds good.
it's a little overpowered.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I can tell you right
Yeah.
now, Volker has no interest in helping this guy. Doesn't give a shit. He shouldn't be down here.
Yeah.
So all what Volker's doing is he's wandering to the back of the group, and he's like drawing his bow just to be safe, and he's watching around in case this is a distraction.
Lovely.
I stand in
Alright.
between him and the scared mouse.
Give me
I'll go ahead and
that
use my
die roll.
Scarred trait.
Okay.
And
You're using
how many?
Scarred.
So I've got 3 dice for myself, and how many am I getting from everyone else?
3 dice. Because you have 3
3
people
dice, so
helping.
6 dice total.
Yeah. Luke, what do
How
you
do I
want
do
to say
this
to
multiple
sort of
dice?
like ease him? Because no,
Oh,
you
me?
did want to help with you did want to help with
Yeah.
Guard's Honor, but you can use Persuader if you want. Sort of.
I don't have Persuader.
Tunic.
I'm an orator.
Oh. You could deliver a roasting speech. I guess.
I don't think this would be for speeches, really.
I was going to use it to sing him a song, but only 3.
No, this is not the place for songs either.
No.
No.
In that case, go ahead and roll +2. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
No,
think
I'm
just
trying to
do
figure out how
dice
to
then.
roll the multiple dice.
Oh, you hit /die, and then put the dice that you're rolling as a d6.
Okay, so it's going to be 5d6. Yeah, there we go.
1, 2, 3.
1 success.
This is
Oh boy.
So
All those
great.
coward dice.
So here's what I believe is going to happen. Faulkner, what are you doing?
So, because I was helping with Persuade, wasn't I?
I believe so.
So, I'm just kind
Well,
of trying.
mainly, I was wondering what you and the other mouse were doing. You guys are kind of like suspicious.
Yeah, I wanted to keep an eye out. Obviously, there's a lot of dark corners and a lot of places where things could be sneaking up, and we're in hostile territory here. So,
Yes.
I mean, if there's a situation where I have to make a roll, I do have sharp eye as a trait. So I figure I'd just be keeping an eye out for dangers.
All right, here's what you see. You all start talking to him, and you're trying to calm him down, and he's waving the torch at you, trying to be like, "Back! Don't know you yet. Don't know where Artemis is. Have you seen it?" And he narrows his eyes at all of you, and that is when, Faulkner, you see a glint, sort of like something shining, like eyes, just for a second, before there is a heavy and a large bolt of wood slams into this mouse's side, and he lets out this hissing gasp of pain as he falls down on his side, the torch clattering on the floor.
Shit.
And that is what happens. That is the twist.
Well, boop.
Was it?
And now
somebody
he's
got
on
his
his
eyes?
eyes, sort of like clutching at the large bolt that has entered his body.
Where did it come from?
It came from one of the corridors further out from the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, Eugenia is immediately on the defensive.
Everyone get down!
Immediately
Like-
pulls her weapon. Mhm.
Okay.
Luke readies
And
his bow,
he's kind of-
just in case.
Who goes there?
No answer.
We shouldn't stay here long.
He
Leave
is
this
writhing
fool.
on the ground, and slowly his movements begin to process.
Can I use a healer check? I'm also medicine wise to try to at least stabilize this mouse.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a healer check,
Okay.
obstacle 3.
Okay. Does anybody want to help me? I'm going to use my wise, the medicine wise.
Yeah, if you want to help, you can do that, but you're going to be in clear line of sight.
I'm gonna pick
going
up a mouse's
step in
torch
between,
and light her.
Okay.
The people
So
healing the
that will be helping
mouse,
dice.
and with my shield out.
Oh, smart! That's smart! Okay. Okay, so you have 2 helping dice right now.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody
So
else,
3.
or are you good?
I'm getting out of the light.
All right,
fine.
go ahead and give me a roll, Abby.
Okay.
3. Nope.
Got 2.
He is unfortunately stuck deep with this thing. The only thing you can really do is soothe him for these last moments, because you imagine he's been lung shot. The three of you are angry.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Each of you
Eugenia
is
does.
angry. And Seth, there is another hard clunk, and it slams against your shield. And then Faulkner, you hear footsteps racing back, heavy footsteps.
Back away from us or towards us?
All right.
Are the footsteps coming towards us, or are they heading away from us?
They're heading away. They seem to be receding. Yes.
There's something up there, and it's retreating away from us. Maybe they're reloading or setting up a new vantage point for us, but we need to head carefully.
Falco, you still have your bow, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Could I fire into the darkness in this direction?
If you want
Probably
to.
not very well. What will I be rolling on?
Your fighter, I guess.
Oh yeah, this isn't going to go well. What do I need to get it?
I'm gonna roll versus. If you're taking the shot. I'm ready if you want to. Nah? Okay.
Nah, I've got a pretty low fighter to begin with, so I think Volker being in the dark isn't going to sort of give away anything.
Toss me the
what he
bow,
would
I'll
say,
do.
though, what he will say, though, is,
If we pursue, it should be with care. If I were retreating into the dark, it would be towards friendly's ambush.
It knows the ground. We're not here to fight it. We're just here to find our lost people and get out.
That's right. There's no point
Seems
adding
we
more
found one more.
Mouseguard to this
Eugenia.
pile.
This mouse paws at your cloak and pulls you closer. And he says, "My family. Regina, Artemis, get them out." And he's slowly.
Of course. Yeah. He's kind of stroking his head and be like, "Of course we will. Yes, we will. Just shh. It's okay."
Seth, because of your shield, you likely bought him enough time to tell her this. But hearing his last gasps, your guard's honor feels really, really weird.
I feel a little weary right now.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
We aren't here for
Seth
that.
will shout out, "Come out, you cowards."
Okay. Your voice rings throughout the tunnels. Challenging unseen
backhand
foe.
him. I was about to say, I kind of backhand him like, "We do not know what is out there. We have to be on guard now. We are now the prey. We must make
We're
ourselves
always the prey.
quiet. We need
Sorry,
to make ourselves as quiet and invisible as possible. Morning light coming through the vines.
It burns my eyes.
All right.
It burns us."
Good
We
thing we're
must
not
be
playing
quiet.
vampire.
All right. So we need to turn this into action now. You guys need to find the remains, or you need to find whoever this tunnel creature is. It apparently has weapons.
We aren't here for that.
And you could potentially also find this dead mouse's family.
Who might be the grave robbers?
You never know.
Well, if we do find them and they are the grave robbers, they can lead us to where we need to go.
That's also
If, all I'm hearing is ifs. We look in this mess, look. There's our task there, our cause. If you wish to
That's
die
not a
down there,
mess.
that is entirely up to you. But for me, I'd rather
To guard
Get out
the
for
territories,
one, get
territories are the mice.
I wasn't
We don't
aware
need
we're
the
standing in
mouse
the
down here.
territories here in the mountains.
If
This
we die
territory
here,
is gonna serve
they'll
as
get
death.
another group along looking for us, and they'll die here too. There's no use being foolish. We have a mission. Let's stick to that.
Eugenia kind of holds up her paw. The mission, while important, is not as important if there are live mice down here. We are guard mice. We are here to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If there is a hint that there might be innocent mice, I feel it is our duty to find them. If family that he says is really here, we need to find him. The dead, though important to honor them, are not as important as the living we need to protect.
Volker
Well spoken.
casts a glance over literally the fields and piles of bones here in the cave and goes,
I believe the key word in what you just said there, sister, is innocent. What innocent purpose is there to be down here, aside from perhaps our own?
They could have been dragged here. Weasels are mean. Who knows?
Weasels don't
Generally, if
drag.
a weasel drags
Weasels
you somewhere, you're not alive at the time.
That is such a harsh word to describe weasels.
Yeah, it is.
Meanie faces.
Mean
I just want to
faces.
hug Lloyd.
Lloyd.
You're just too sweet.
Too
Cinnamon
pure for
roll.
this world.
Too innocent. So, I turn to Volker. Brother, I understand there is not a lot of innocence left here. However, I would feel as if I was abandoning my duty if we did not at least attempt to look for these mice. Do you imagine if, for some reason, even if they were scavengers, you know what it is like in the wild country. You know how desperate mice get.
It's hard out there.
It would be remiss if we did not at least look. It would haunt me, and I have too many regrets in this life already. I do not want another one on my head.
You would
However,
risk all 6 of us for 2 people we don't even know are alive.
not risk.
We can
are
definitely keep an eye
trained.
open for them.
We are guards mice, are we not?
It was his dying wish. I pick him up and I start to move him towards the giant pile. And, just
If
lay him on there.
As is tradition.
At least you're not alone.
It's worth a try at this point.
Volker, his gaze lingers over the pile of bones, and he's like,
Ah, yes. Duty. It always comes at a cost, though, does it not?
and he looks around, and he lingers over everyone in their cloaks, and he looks a bit longer at Faulkner than the others because they've got a bit of a bond, and he goes,
I wonder what today's cost of duty shall be.
We've
I
done a lot of...
defer to your command, of course. However, I hope the cost is not too high. As long as this is one you're willing to pay.
the greater good. Yes. I turn to the patrol. I understand that I am patrol leader and that there is seniority. However, you might know yourselves, you know your limits. If you do not wish to do this, I will not force you to risk your lives. If you feel that this is unsafe, or if you do not agree, I respect that. In fact, here. Please raise your paw if you want to stick to the mission that Gwendolyn has tasked us.
50-50.
Eugenia,
At this
point, sits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
This is lovely.
Fuck.
I have a solution to offer. We've said a lot. We can roll against one another in a versus test.
Ooh.
So,
I think
I've never done that before.
If Eugenia and Folker want to roll versus each other, the patrol will defer to whoever wins the test.
Leadership challenge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Eugenia, at seeing that half of the party is pretty against this, she's going to sigh. Her goal is to have the patrol return to Lockhaven safely. And she definitely sees Folker's point that this is not going to be a good mission. So she turns to Lloyd and to Seth and she says, I fear they may be right.
I'll defer to whatever you say, but I can't agree.
They shot him for no reason. He was just standing there. He wasn't doing anything. And they just
He's
killed
already
him.
paid the
They'll shoot
cost.
us for no reason.
I turned to Lloyd and I was like, I would hate for you to be hurt or to die with no reason. That's why I make this decision.
Yeah.
You understand? I am sorry, young one.
I do.
But the well-being of this patrol is more important at this point. Kind of pats him on the back.
I hug you.
Lloyd, you're killing me. You're killing me. Ah!
If we find these two lost mice, nobody's saying we don't help them. What I'm saying is we don't go looking for them.
It would only put us at greater risk, and we're already at great risk down here.
Yeah.
I have to say, trouble will probably find us down here. Us seeking it out is just adding to our troubles.
So what should we do next?
The mission.
Look through this pile, I think. And he just looks at the pile in disgust and horror.
Yep. In one of the paths, or in the mountain itself, lies your bounty. I'm going to make you guys either... So to sort through the pile, I need a laborer check.
A legit labourer check as well.
Please, lead by example.
I've got a laborer too. If anybody has a laborer that's higher, I will accept that. But
I'm just going to make an obstacle
Nope.
too.
okay. So yeah, Eugenia will be the first to start very kind of reverently digging through this mountain of remains of her fallen mice comrades. Does anybody want to give me?
Can we use armor wise to help identify the armors of the?
Yeah.
That is so
That's a good one.
smart. Yes.
Genius.
Yeah, also, that's given me an idea. I have patrol guard wise. Could I also use that to look for the uniforms?
There
like
are patrol guard in this patrol. Yes.
Okay.
They're the best.
You guys are smart.
Okay. So that's.
I've got armor as well, so I could also help, like, look out for the guard uniforms and like, equipment.
This is tense.
I can
Okay,
stand guard by
so-
using scout.
Okay, so
+3. You have 3 right now.
So yeah,
okay, so
there'll
that
be
means
5 total.
5.
Yeah.
Do you want to use the trade?
Wait. No, sorry, that's 5 altogether. None of my traits will really work with this.
You got 3 successes.
1, 2, 3.
You find 3 of the patrol members.
Is any of them a
Story
tender
goes-
paw?
One of them is.
How
Luke
do you
would love to
identify
take those
tender paws? Because they don't have a
The
cloak.
other two, they don't, but they do have arms from Lockhaven. So you would recognize the hilt of this one Tenderpaw's sword is of Lockhaven make, especially during that time in the Winter War. And he is found with 2 patrol guards. And you can identify them by their cloaks. They died in battle. They are not heaped upon the pile as normal corpses. It is clear that they were surrounded at the base of the mountain, and they cut swaths through the weasels that attacked them. But you do not know where the patrol leader Basil and his Tinderpaw are. They are not in the mountain. That much is certain.
At the side of the Tinderpaw's remains, Luke will kneel down and with great reverence take great care to pack them up and make them ready for transport.
Right.
I'm assuming we have a cart for the dead bodies.
I assume you have the means to travel with them.
So I guess
we've got
I'll
people,
assist him gently putting the dead people into the dead people cart.
Okay.
Bring out your dead.
Lloyd is a Tinderpaw, yeah?
No.
You're playing? No? Yes. Okay.
No,
You're playing
I'm a guard's mouse, but I'm very new at it.
Very recent.
Okay. Okay, Folker, at some point, whilst we're picking this up, will sort of go across and put a calming paw on his shoulder and says,
Ah!
It's as vital that you learn the consequences of one's duty and potentially one's withholding the honor of the guard. Remember this pile, for better or worse.
Yeah.
and he slaps it. You'll do well. Sort of wanders off.
Okay. Thanks.
Attaboy.
This pile is gonna be real hard to forget.
What do you do? Found 3.
So we press on then, I assume.
Yes.
Seems
I
that's
suggest
There
we
are
take
multiple
it.
paths.
Feel like I'm gonna need a nature check. Because now you have to move through the tunnels trying to hide from whatever might lurk inside.
Can I use
feel like someone needs-
survivalist?
Survivalist is more about building
survivalist.
shelter, locating water, jury rigging. Don't
Okay.
think it would, unless you want to build something.
Okay.
I shall build a horse to gift.
It's more
whoever is
like
attacking us. We shall hide in the fort.
Abby!
I was thinking of just our...
I'm
Gosh, I was thinking it was
I'll shut up now. I'm sorry.
Could I use scouts to try and figure out which path seems a bit more trodden to help us avoid the danger?
Mm.
Scout is kind of the skill to use at this point. But you have such a high scout.
I will help someone with scout.
So, yeah, this can be a scout check to. I think that's Pathfinder. I don't think that's Scout.
So, if you're looking for tracks and trails, wouldn't it be hunter?
Exactly.
Could be Hunter.
So I have Pathfinder 3 and Scout 2, so...
I've got Hunter 4.
I actually think Hunter is a good follow for this. Yeah, I like that. What are you trying to find?
I think wasn't the idea that Luke was suggesting was finding the path most well trodden, I guess, to
Yes.
avoid going that way? Yeah.
That, I think, is the helping dice that Luke gives. That's really
Okay.
good. But I think with your Hunter, you are now looking for signs of the battle elsewhere.
Wait, so is this a nature check, or is this now a hunter check?
This is not the nature check. This is now a hunter check. I kind of forced the nature check to get you guys thinking about rolling, but now I think this is good right now.
I'll assist with my weatherwise to help Faulkner figure out how to navigate. I keep saying weatherwise. Weasel-wise.
Weasel-wise.
Okay, I was like...
Weasel and weather are fairly different.
I don't think...
It's 7:24 in the morning here.
Weasel-wise is good.
Yeah.
So nice weasel we're having.
Faulkner. Train weasels.
Cool. So how
Do we
help
have-
you
do we
guys
have-
on this?
Yeah, do we
You
still
have
have
three
room for
helping
another
dice.
helper dice? Oh, you've already got 3?
Go ahead and get. If you can sell me on it, I will allow it.
Okay. Okay, I want to either use rational or old fur, because they both kind of affect this in the same way, to logically think of, like, if looking at it from years of experience, if a battle was happening, what way would the battle have naturally moved? Like, using a bit of strategy?
I actually think that's more lore mouse.
Or lore mount, I can use that. I'm happy to use
Yeah,
that.
because remember, you can only help with a skill or wise. But I
Okay.
like that you're using your traits to help define your character and how they
cool.
think.
Yeah.
Right,
Just
so
be like,
I will allow
logically, if I was defending, what way would the battle have gone, you know?
that. Right.
Cool. So is that 3 helper dice?
4.
This hunter check?
Wait, is it 3? Yeah, it's 4. Okay, so just go ahead and roll those 4 dice plus your hunter.
Plus my hunter. So 8d6.
Jeez, the obstacle is 5.
Cool. Oh god. Okay. Oh no.
Oh, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, just
barely.
Just got it.
Yeah.
So here's what will happen. It's obvious from Folker's perspective, if they were going to continue fighting, they wouldn't do it at the base of the mountain. But you didn't come across their bodies when you came down the stairs or when you traveled upwards. So that path must have been impossible. There must have been a flank by the weasels that drove the Basil and his Tinderpaw away. So you begin to search for signs of, well, follow the corpses, essentially. You begin to scout your way along, and Luke, you actually do come across a few pieces of, not like, it seems like there's footsteps, but there's also like this trail that's bigger and flat. It's almost as if something's being dragged here and there. And you begin to follow almost like 2 paths at once. Somebody is already following this path ahead of you, you realize. They aren't too far behind.
I quickly turn around and was like, this stuff being dragged here, we might be onto those other mice. Regina?
Maybe
or
we
mice?
could put the
Those are the ones?
maybe put the light out.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should pick up the pace to...
Weapons out, light out. We don't want them to see us coming.
Luke would have been walking with his bow ever since we got ambushed back there, so...
Good.
Yeah.
Same set that's been his shield, and he's like popping up on different parts of the group to kind of like watch for threats.
I'm gonna walk behind Seth.
All right. Cautiously, you all enter a courtyard. It seems to be an open room with a tall ceiling that would have been a place of relaxation and socializing, you imagine, with weasels. And you notice something very peculiar about the entryways into this room. Since you're a mouse-sized, you realize, yes, we can walk through just fine. You don't have to squeeze it all. But for a weasel, these doorways are very, very tight. You realize for weasels to get in, they would have to bend their bodies flat to the ground to come through. Putting their head like it's a very like submissive position, and almost counterintuitive because suddenly you realize this is the perfect place to hold a standoff, at least until you're flanked. Because you can only go one by one if you're a weasel.
Can I use my weasel wise to understand why this room would have been designed this way?
Yes.
Okay, so
Whoever
that is
owned.
going to be.
Oh, you don't actually have to roll. Wise is just sort of like give you the information.
Oh, okay.
You know this is because weasels have tunnel lords. The tunnel lord who ruled over this portion of Darkheather likely followed the weasel tradition of having their doorways into sanctimonious areas be this tiny. So weasels had to show submission and basically put themselves out to be beheaded or easily attacked if to sort of show deference to the tunnel lord. So the tunnel lord would be in here, everybody would have to walk in one at a time, crawling on their bellies, basically. So it's more of an honor. Yeah. But it seemed to have backfired because you see some of these hallways that lead into this are cluttered with weasel bones. And as you try to move quietly into this room, you see that some of the various stone decorations and pillars that might have been used to sort of, because you do see it's a very beautiful courtyard. Like everything has a mural or ceramic design on it, and you see this room is a skeleton battleground. If you were horrified by the mountain, you, if you were a weasel, would be very brave to step into this room. There are weasels about. And you pick up a small scent of mouse in the area. It's very noticeable amongst the weasel scent. And now, I need all of you to get ready to roll nature, because you hear cluttering on the far side of the room. So I want everyone to roll nature for this.
Okay. Just straight nature.
Yeah, I want everyone to roll straight nature.
Okay.
Okay, Lot, success. 3 successes for Luke.
Just
3
the one
successes
for me.
for Volker. Oh, Lloyd.
Aww.
Lloyd, you
I'm not
sweet
ready to
baby.
fight. Fighting is scary.
Did die. Ugh, everybody who did not get at least 2 successes. Guess what? You crunch on some bones. Your mousy nature isn't enough to hide you in this extremely stressful situation. And you crunch loudly, and you catch the attention of something snuffling amongst the ruins here. And it lifts its head to peer at you, and then slowly rises to a very tall...
Can I signal the people that did succeed on their nature checks to kind of like get away from me, so that whatever this is will only notice me?
Well, us.
Yeah, me as well.
I already said I was walking behind you,
You know
so it's
what?
basically just we're exactly together.
You know what? I like that. I like where that's going. How about yes? So what do you do to sort of give everyone cover?
So I'm gonna have my shield out as I have been. Wave to the group to move to the side, and I'm just gonna crunch on some more bone. Like I'm gonna quickly dart to the right, purposefully crunching on bones, and just trying to draw attention to myself.
All right, you do this, and you see a scrawny figure, a tall, lean, short-furred creature. It's a little smaller than a weasel, but you know it's a mustelid of some sort, and you realize, because of your weasel eyes, this is probably a stoat. And its round ears sort of flip back and forth between attention and suspicion, and then you hear in this room a small muttering, a nervous voice saying, Who goes there in the tunnels? Small mouse.
I'm here.
Not on the pile. That's fine. Only dead mice go on the pile. We need to find the dead mice. Where are the dead
We're not here to fight.
Neither am I. I only need to find the dead mice. Where are the dead
Oh.
Not here. Not here.
Luke is gonna turn around to like the huddle of the group that did manage to get away from the attention, and he's gonna frantically make hand signals back to where we came from, because there's a dead mouse there. There's a dead mouse there, rather.
Well, we
It's
have a
not
dead mouse
the most
cart with us.
guardsman thing to do, but if we were to point this out to our dear friend over there, then we might have the time to find what we need and get out.
You start waving your hands, and how do the rest of you who are hidden respond? Because now this stoat is half interested and half like in his own crazed mutterings. He sounds very, very weird. And he continues saying,
Have we found any sort of mice bones? Just mice bones. There are mice stealing my bones, making
Just
bones.
the big pile back there.
The big pile? No, we already
The
checked
leather.
the big pile. There's no. Everything's where it should be. Yes, I think.
Where would you have these bones hidden? These bones you do not wish to lose. Where would they be? We'll make sure no one goes that way.
Oh, the important bones, the good smelling bones. I could show you. They're very, yes, treasure. Proud mice. Their spirits should stay down here. They're too fierce. Can't let go. They'll kill us again if they go. Follow Nori. Nori can show you. Hello, little mouse.
Hello, Nori. Please, yes. Lead us.
Oh, yes, of course.
and he holds out his big paw to you. It is raw with what is probably like raw nails that have dug through stone and bone alike, and it has this like sort of rustic color to him. He's covered in dirt and very, very dirty stoat, but he seems amicable. He just gives you a very long, toothy smile, and he goes,
It's very nice to meet you. You have a very fresh cloak. Nori has not seen clothes like this since he found bones. The treasured bones. The evil bones. Mice.
So when he goes in that tunnel, is he going to have to press himself down like a weasel would, or is he small enough?
he's small enough to fit a whole lot more, like, easier, but he is definitely, like, he's used to this sort of thing. He would have to do as you would expect.
We can all see him,
so
right?
that might be a good point to ambush him.
Does he have any of
Falcon's
the
kinda
wood that
kicked
came
us to
flying
follow
towards us earlier?
He
begins to say,
doesn't want to leave here. So if we're going to take these bones out and complete this mission, he is an obstacle.
Yes, but we could send him the other way.
And he would, Folker turns around and lowers his voice. And he's like,
Listen, from this old mice. When the enemy is making a mistake, it is rather rude to interrupt them. Let them show us where our bones are.
We can always
Fine.
point him to our fallen friend later.
You're muted, Abby.
I was wondering. Okay. So just to clarify, does Nori notice all of the mice at this point? Is it pretty?
I say Falconer and Luke are the only ones he hasn't noticed, I think.
Okay.
Or at least take an interest in, because, you know.
I'm staying very quiet.
Yeah.
Same. I'm just gesturing wildly, trying to get my point across.
So they've only noticed those two. Okay, so are there any mice skeletons around that I can kind of investigate?
No.
See if they're no.
You definitely don't see any mice skeletons mixed in here. The cloak and armor would probably be the telling point, but let's see.
Okay, keeping a very, very close eye on the guard. I don't know.
Well, tell me, why have you come so deep into dark ether? It's very quiet in here. I like quiet. But talking is nice. Usually, old Nori can only talk to himself.
Why is
sure.
there nobody else down here to talk to? Do you not ever get guests?
Guests! Beetles! Nori talks to beetles. Nori talks to worms. Nori does not talk to stealing mice. Take my bones! Take them away!
Thieves, a lot of them.
Not even ask. Not even talk to Nori.
Who would do such a thing?
Rude mice.
That is
not
very
like
rude.
You look cute mice. Nori nice.
I tried. A scholar and a gentleman is what I aspire to. Please, we're your guests. Show us your most valuable possessions. We promise not to steal them. We only wish to see what it is you value.
Nori has not been spoken to so sweetly since Dark Heather was in full swing. Nori used to be servant for Tunnel. You are lucky to be honored, Nori. I show you. Follow Nora. It's up here.
And you notice that he's dug out this small tunnel in the wall, and it's pretty tall. And he says,
Nori will boost you. Come here.
I take like 3 steps backwards. Nope.
Oh
Eugenia
no!
steps up.
You don't trust Nori?
Eugenia
I'm a
steps
bit
up, and she'll be the first
afraid
one
of-
to.
Okay. The old one
I'm
will
gonna.
need help.
and he picks her up, and he stuffs her in the hole.
She kind of. Thank you, Nori. You can tell she is trying her best to be civil, but hearing that, like, Nori was here during the full swing and is just. She's trying her best, but it's very thinly veiled. She's just really wants to kill this stout. As I kind of wiggle through the tunnel.
I'm gonna
right.
be the second to volunteer because I.
All right. Those big paws come up under your arms and go.
You're next. You crawl. It's not far.
And Eugenia, you crawl forward and you reach what looks like sort of a self-made home that has another tunnel that goes straight down. You imagine into probably another part of Dark Heather. And in this room, you notice there are lots of bones in here. Some of them are complete. Others are pieces that have been scrounged. There's a lot of loot, actually. And you realize one of the bodies in here is covered up by a big cloak, and it looks fresh. And then it sees you, and you hear a sigh come from its mouth, and it goes,
Artemis? Artemis, is that you?
No, what did? No,
What?
my name is not Artemis. No, my name is not Artemis.
What?
Out of
Who are
character, was
you?
Artemis the one that died?
No. That was a mouse whose name you don't know. And this
Is this
mouse.
Is this a mouse?
This is a mouse.
Okay.
She is garbed in a dark green cloak, and she has dark brown fur. She's covered in dirt, and you notice that she's like smeared in this wet. She probably fell in either like a puddle or something, and she says,
Well, listen. This is great. This is great. Look around. It's the treasure load. This idiot took all the stuff.
and she begins to point at the various relics that are here, and there are like weasel like artifacts of gold and silver, and you do notice that there is 2 bone skeletons in particular. That one has a cloak that is clearly that of a patrol leader. They're placed in almost reverence, these 2 skeletons, one of them obviously smaller than the next, and it is they both have weapons at their feet. One is a long blade and the other is an axe. And she sort of gets up, goes over to like some of the stuff and starts saying, "Get your cloak out. We'll go right now. This tunnel goes straight down to the mountain. Here, grab this." She hands you the axe and says, "Okay, I gotta get the cloak. You stay there."
What does
Great.
this axe look like?
What do you? It looks like it's only like a half axe, like it's a battle axe,
Okay.
but it is clearly of Lockhaven make. Like there's a copper sort of rounded base.
Now,
Can I?
You come in here as well, Seth. And she says,
Can I
"Oh,
sneak
more
in
hands.
and
This
knock
is
her?
great."
Hoping I could sneak in.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
What do you want to do when you sneak in?
I want to hit this scavenging mouse in the back of the head and knock her out.
Make a fighter roll.
Okay, that's
She's
going to
gonna
be.
fight you.
I've got fighter 5.
All right. You want to use a trait?
Yes, I will use my. So I used Scarred last time with the other one, so I'm going to use Guard's Honor because what she's doing is dishonorable.
All right. Let's roll.
And so that's going to be 66.
I'm rolling 46. I only
So
got
I
one
have-
success. Oh, you just barely beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So I knock her out.
Eugenia, you are talking to her, and she's like, "This is great. When we find Artemis, we're gonna get out of here rich." And she's like this, and that's when your shield clunks against her head, and she topples down onto the ground. And at this point,
to Seth.
Nori is like,
Next up, this is great. Nori never has so many clippers.
Do we hear that clang? Or
yeah, sure. Yeah.
okay, then I'll go forward. What was that clang?
The mountain is settling.
Eugenia? And I motioned for Nori to pick me up and put me in there.
Okay. Oh, you are so
We-
small. Oh, it's so cute. Oh,
We are here. Do not
And he
worry.
puts you in.
I run
What?
into the hallway or thing.
As this
Alright.
mouse is knocked out, I turn to Seth. Okay, grab the 2 cloaks, the patrol leader and the guard. We might not be able to take the remains, but if we can grab their cloaks, we can blame it on the mouse and we can hide them. Hurry! And so I'm
What happened?
trying to kind of...
I'm going
I
to
go
do my
over to
best
the
to
little
actually
mouse.
take the entire bodies
Okay.
and Yeah.
Labor.
I don't have labor.
That's all right. You can use beginner's luck. What's your health?
My health is 4.
You roll 2 dice. This is obstacle 2.
I am not going
You
to help
already
you.
made-
I'm just at the. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't
Oh
because.
my god, you did it!
Nailed it!
Yes!
Wow.
Okay, you
You got this.
pop these bodies into a position. You sort of like make sure they're like wrapped together onto your back, or wherever we do this. You get their weapons, you get their possessions, and what do?
I'm going to turn to Eugenia, holding them like both over my shoulder, and it's like, if we're going to follow the mission, we're going to follow the mission. Let's get these and get out of here as soon as the rest of them are up here.
But the way back is that
the
way.
glory.
I look at Lloyd, and I'm like, signal the mice that are still hidden to sneak out the way they came, and we'll meet them around.
We're gonna go alone? Oh no.
Seth, we have to deal with Nori, and we cannot leave this mice just alive here. This,
Yeah, I
scout
pick her up.
is not right in the mind. And you just get to sing that she was telling us she didn't want the mice doing. She was going on and on about the mice, they steal my shit. And now here you are, stealing Nori's shit. We have to think. We have a perfect excuse as to why these bodies would be gone. Do you understand? And I kind of point to the mouse that's now at this point.
Our matron ordered us to retrieve these bodies, particularly the Tinder Paws, so that we could honor them as patrol guard.
Yes, I understand that, but that will be no use if there is a scout who kills you because he thinks that he has some right to these bones. We need to think about
And
it.
if we
Now, is there a
leave-
way you can hide the bodies?
Volker! Oh wait, did you introduce yourself to Nori?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like your friends are angry at each other. They're jealous of my gun.
Yep.
Yes. Well, look.
True.
At this point, by the way, since there's now more mice up than there is down, Folker's suddenly much more agreeable to being popped up there. So he's like,
Yes. Look, I'll sort them out. Give me a boost.
All right, I'll be gentle. I'm so glad you were not caught by the ghost.
He gets very serious.
What?
Yes. I am grateful to have made your acquaintance, and I'm very, very thankful.
I have not found the raised bones. Have you seen it?
Have I seen what have I maybe seen?
The raised
Right.
ghost killer.
Ghost. Oh. It all sounds rather serious. No, I can't say I have.
That's fine.
If I do, you shall be the first to know, Nori. I promise. Oh, thank you.
You tell Nori, because Nori will have to flee.
Yes. But of course, my dear, but of course.
and he backs away.
Too late, you're already in the hole.
While they're talking, can I have dumped out my backpack and started to put the bones into the backpack?
Yep, sure. This is good.
Okay.
I will help you with that. I will do the same.
As
All right.
Folker walks in, he's sort of walking backwards, looking towards where he just came, and he sort of looks to the others, expecting them to sort of like look up at him, and he's going like this, as in like, that'd be crazy. And then he sees the bones, and he's like, like
And I'm gonna try and signal to like stall for a little bit. It's just like,
So-
I also
keep
show him the alive
scout away
mouse.
for a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
Who else is
You
still
see-
down
you see-
here? I'm still down.
I'm also
Who else
going to
is?
put
yeah, it's you and
a.
Liz.
I'm going to signal to Lloyd to put a bone in the unconscious mouse's hand. Like, not one of the bones that we're loading up, but another bone in the mouse's hand. So that we can play this off as us protecting the treasure.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I'm now holding the unconscious mouse and the bone. I don't understand what's going on, so...
Oh my god.
Put a bone in the hand.
Yeah, I've got her.
Bone in the hand.
Yep.
Yeah, leave her on the ground with the bone in her hand, yes.
But...
At this point, Nori calls out,
Do any more mice need a boost?
Fulker
Feeling like
I can give you a boost.
Would
It's
we have
like
heard the bit about the wraith? Would we have
bit
heard
about
that
the
little
wraith?
ghost story?
yes. Yes.
I just start signaling, like banging things together and like ooh, all sorts of like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
What kind of roll would that be?
I was
Is
about
that
to say
like a
deception, but I don't think we have deception.
Manipulator. Do you have manipulator?
I don't.
Do you want to beginner's luck it? It's half your will.
Half my will.
Yep.
Rounded up or down?
Up. Round it up.
That would be 2 dice. That might.
It's versus his nature. He's a stoat and he's crazy. It's not going to be too hard.
Hearing
You
this,
know
having just made the agreement to tell Nori if we find the wraith, would Volker, hearing this, be able to yell out, "We found the knife!" and try and give an assistant?
Yes, I would allow that if Faulkner is willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
do this. Would my
right.
persuader help with this? If I'm shouting out, "We found the wraith."
Yes. But wait, no, because this is happening before Volker tells you about it.
Oh, true.
So I think it's just Faulkner and Luke.
Volker and Luke.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Not confusing at all.
I'm going to
Definitely
spend his lunatic trait to add a +1 to this.
Okay.
Yes,
Ooh.
he has that trait.
Yeah.
Boom.
Makes sense.
1 success. All right.
You can do this.
All right.
I believe in you.
Here we go.
You just gotta beat 1 success.
You gotta roll another die. It was 3 die all up because I
Oh.
give you an assist.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Could it be? Yay!
Oh no.
You tied!
Eyes are
Okay.
good.
Tiebreaker.
We can either do a tiebreaker, which is your will versus his nature, or you can break the tie in my favor by using one of your traits against yourself. You get 2 turns for the player, 2 checks for the player's turn.
So just one.
Yeah. And I know what I'm gonna do
Make
if
it more
you fail.
interesting.
It'll make it very
You seem too
interesting.
eager about this 4.
I'm so
You seem
please.
too eager.
Please.
That's not a good sign.
Please take it.
That's not it.
It would make it
It's gonna
interesting.
be it's gonna be so good, you're gonna love it. Somebody bought a wild magic surge. That's all I'll say.
Oh dear. I mean, I kind of want to see what happens just for the hell of it.
I know.
And you
so
get
do
2
I.
players' turn
It's gonna be
checks.
horrible. Just Luke, yes, just do it. I'm
Embrace the story.
embrace
I'm
it.
gonna
We got
use
this.
sharp-eyed in that I oversee something horrible. And I either crunch on like bones or I cause like a minor collapse somewhere.
Even better. Your sharp-eyed trait is gonna make this better. You do this. And then, as you're looking for more bones, you notice something.
Ooh.
In the tunnel that you came from, there is a figure standing. It is draped in a light, cold aura. As the light bounces off of sheer white bow. And at the top of it is a skull. Standing, moving, gliding almost. And in its hand is a sword. A long sword. And it moves towards you as you are clamoring about. And thank you for that subscription. And
Nope.
Nori yells, "Ah! It's the Wraith! Get the boost! Quickly!" And he starts panicking. But before he can give you a boost, the Wraith of Dark Heather attacks you. Roll me a fighter.
Muffins.
Those of us
This is
upstairs probably just think that our little ruse worked really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
yeah,
Yes.
we got this.
Those guys are so smart.
You gotta.
I've got 3 fighters, so I have a chance, maybe.
Is there any way I can help with this?
If you intervene, yes, you can help.
Because I also have fighter.
You do.
And like what? Oh, I don't know.
Hey, that's my normal alarm for waking up, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, you're awake?
Good morning.
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't just stand there and let Luke get attacked.
Right. So yeah, you intercede. You get a +1 to this, Luke. Is there anything else you want to do before this apparition apparently attacks you?
I'm probably gonna yell and scream bloody murder because this whole tunnel's been terrifying, and now there's an actual wraith. After just hearing that there might be a wraith.
Did you say it's
I'm
wearing a
gonna
skull
scream
on
in
its head?
bloody terror.
Yes, it's wearing a skull. But
What kind of skull?
oddly enough, it's a weasel skull.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, 4, you fucker.
I got
Let's
one
see.
success.
I already rolled
That's
3
surprising.
dice earlier, so I'll just add the 1 here.
Got the 1. Yep.
Nice.
So what did you get?
6, 5, 5, 3.
All right, you succeed. This thing darts towards you, its blade flashing in the darkness. And before it falls upon you, Faulkner, you intercede. Tell me what your maneuver is as you and Luke team up against this thing.
I mean,
Team up is a
I'm
strong
gonna
word.
Actually, yeah, this is more like a skirmish. This isn't like a full-on conflict or fight.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go to the rope again. I want to get my rope tangled up in his legs as he goes past because I've been hidden this whole time.
Oh, okay. So
That's
you do
correct.
this,
Yeah.
and it clatters to the ground with a heavy clash of bone, and it lets out this, and it slashes at your tails as it whirls around on the ground, and then, as quick as the attack came, it recedes and begins to back away from both of you. Its sword sliding against the ground in this very like angry scrape as it cuts at one of the stray weasel bones and darts away into the darkness of the tunnels.
That was unexpected.
Nori dives into the hole, and before you guys know it, the room that you're in is now packed with a stoat.
Oh, God.
Very tight.
Oh, hello, Nori. Look what we found. As I point to the.
What? Oh no!
Oh.
You mean mouse! You tried to get away! You were not really dead, I knew it!
It holds.
Hey,
like,
it's mine. I try to pull her back.
What?
It is. Oh,
Yours?
Let her go. Lloyd, let her go.
Nori,
But no.
it's not ours. But if it is all right with you, we shall take her back, and we shall have the mouse deal with them. That way, she shall never come to steal your things again, and we shall leave you. Will that be okay with you?
Nori in peace. Take her to jail.
He hands her to you. He says,
Hey,
"That
I
is a
immediately
very
take her
fine-
and head out.
That is a very fine idea.
It's just.
No.
Well,
Do you like Nori's collection?
It's very beautiful.
It is a
Thank you.
very
Nori worked hard
fine-
on this hole.
Clearly.
She put a whole
It
lot
is
of
a
effort.
very good hole. Do you know of another mouse here? I believe before she said something about a mouse named Artemis.
Artemis. Another rude mouse. He escaped the cat, so he ran from the raid. He's so mean.
You saw
I tried
the
to help
raid.
him.
Ooh, that is very
I
scary.
tried to help him. He say,
I'm scared.
and he ran.
It is
You can
because
find
he's
him.
cowardly.
You can find him, though. I'm sure you can.
And he
Says, well, you must take. Bye. Leave.
and he honestly does not seem to notice that you've taken some of his stuff because of the wraith
What?
business outside.
Yes.
How long that will last?
You can start taking inventory when you've gone.
Exactly.
Well, it was nice to have visitors. Please get out. My hole
Thank you,
stinks
Nori.
of
We will go
mice
now.
now.
All right, we will
And,
go. Bye, Nori. It was nice to meet you.
Goodbye. Come again. Tell everyone you love Darkheather.
And
You want t-shirts?
I came to Dark
You
Heather
want-
and all I got was these lousy
Yeah,
bones.
take our brochure.
yes. No.
Clearly a new
prison.
take on the
Come now,
tourist
folks.
trap.
all right, that was fun. What do you guys do next?
Get it.
Get the
GTA.
info.
I assume they come down and I just point like,
And now I need a scout check because this is going to be. You guys are being hunted right now.
Yeah.
I was about to say, with Luke, I kind of good job with the raid thing. It really, I'd point to Nori. It really freaked him out. That was good work.
Yeah, good job.
The wraith was real.
well, you're welcome.
Singles.
So
You don't have to keep it
Okay.
up for us.
There's no such
The
thing
race
as rights, folk.
No, I'm serious.
well,
It was wearing a weasel skull. It had a sword.
That's probably just
well, we
a
need
great
to hurry
robber.
then.
Yeah, let's go. And I just start like looking around and leading the way and trying to find daylight again.
I will use Weasel-wise, not Weather-wise, to assist.
The weather's
well.
lovely down here.
I will allow this. Ops. It's a versus test actually. So
I use Carpenter to keep that wagon moving.
I use labor to
Quietly.
help keep the cart.
We must push a little cart.
We broke four.
not
I
like
said push
this.
the cart. I have strong muscles.
Not like this.
Yes, like this.
All right.
You're the one who invited
You
me to
can
this
do it.
session.
You're fine. You can do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Okay, so that's
I
3
think
helper
you're
dice. then?
great.
Yeah, I will allow this because guess what? There are parameters that have been set up while you guys are busy in the hole.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oof.
I
Oh, no.
got 1, 2, 3. You got 4.
Nice. Is that good?
I see 5 successes from
I see
Dirk.
5. Yeah.
5? Well, thanks for pointing that out.
Even better.
Because it would have been great if you said, all 4, you got actually 6 successes. Good on you. Doing great.
Boo.
What's our twist? What conditions do we get? None, because guess what? You guys succeed. I'm so proud of you.
Victory.
You don't sound
We
sincere.
don't guys. Yay.
But-
It was all
but
that
here's the thing.
labor.
I'm going to tell you what happens. Because the tunnels of Dark Heather are a little spooky now. Because at around every hall or so, Luke, you are startled by the appearance of a white-skulled figure. And at first, it doesn't move. And very quickly, you, after trying to avoid them, realize there's more than one. And
What?
they're standing there in certain hallways watching you. And it's not until
Point
you,
out to Faulkner
it's
as
not
we go
until-
to make sure that I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
God damn.
This I'm very upset that I didn't win because this is legit dummies that have been set up to lure you away from certain paths. If you avoid these, you're actually going towards a trap, because the first time this happens, there's another ka-thunk, and a bolt flies through the hallway towards you guys. And then you quickly learn that there are devious traps and all sorts of things set up to catch you. Only once do you see one of these dummies move, and that is the one that is holding the sword.
Okay.
And it knows
Now-
it's outnumbered, but it doesn't attack you because of that.
Okay, so I use a lore mouse, or I also have, Mouseguard wise, to know if there's any either legends or stories of any kind of weasel skull wearing. Is this something that's like
Weasel
no,
roots.
or is this just something crazy?
Go ahead and give me a lore mouse check, obstacle 4.
Okay.
As I see the figure
Well,
again,
It's marijuana.
I would like to scream at it. Scream and ask at the same time. It's like, Artemis? I remember that name now. I've heard it a couple of times down here.
Yeah.
Also, what was it? Is it tapping my nature? I want to use.
Oh yeah,
I wanna
spend a
get-
persona point to add your nature
Yeah.
to this? Sure, go ahead.
Yes, please. Okay, perfect.
Alrighty.
1, 2, 3.
Unfortunately, that is not enough.
Uh-oh.
We
And
know
I am
we know
going-
these things are dummies?
Huh?
Like, have we realized that these things are dummies?
Yes. At this point, you guys have realized they are dummies set up by this supposed wraith of Dark Heather.
Yeah. Being
Um,
my mouse is rational, so he'd wonder aloud.
Ask yourselves, what wraith or ghost or spirits would rely upon traps and dummies?
Oh no, it is
Treasure
not a
hunters.
wraith. It is not a ghost. This is some kind of creature. I do not know what this creature wants, but whatever it is not. There is something not right. There's
When
something
we,
not
What
right.
if this is
When we
Artemis?
hit it, when it attacked us, what kind of size was it? Was it like mouse-sized?
It was mouse-sized.
Did it smell like mouse?
Why would a mouse go
It was
around
wearing
a
weasel
skull?
bones, so you couldn't really get a good whiff of it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Its tail, though, didn't have the fur that weasels do.
What Sorry, I should have taken notes. What's the name of the patrol leader of the patrol
Basil.
that we hear this? Basil?
Basil.
Volker is going to go out on a limb and go, Basil!
Basil, you wily old dog, is that you?
Well, I think it might be Artemis.
Steps
You have the
forward,
bones of Basil in a bag, don't you?
and you see the skull tilt slightly. It charges.
Oh,
You need to roll me a fighter check because you stepped
Me?
forward and talked to it. Yes.
okay.
And this, you stirred something up.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
did. Yep.
I'm gonna be rolling. Who wants to help?
I would like to
Oh,
help with my
okay.
fighter. So
I
I'll try
really
and
want
jump
to.
in
I
front
want to
of
help with my
Fulker with my
labor, but I'm
shield.
not going to do it.
It's
has
hard
to be
to describe. Because it's wearing a mask, I can't tell you what is going on
Yeah.
with it exactly.
Is it trying to? Is it charging in a threatening manner with the longsword like ready?
Yes.
I want to help by pulling out my bow and shooting
Okay.
at it. Then
Okay.
Seeing this,
We'll see if you hit.
I'm going to spend my persona and go full mouse and add nature to it then, because
Sweet.
Yes.
this is full fucking. Volker's like later. He's gone.
This is how
He's
Falcon
hanging
got to
around.
be an old mouse.
Yeah. How many
Yeah,
pluses
and it-
am I getting? How many helps am I getting? Sorry.
You're getting the bow.
I'll
Faulkner, are
help
you
the
helping?
fire if I can. If I can.
All right.
Give him a
Seth,
whack with
you
my
got
spear
shield?
as he goes past.
Yes, jumping in front of him with the shield.
Okay.
I want to jab
Go
over
ahead.
the shield with my spear.
Ooh. So that's
That's
three.
three?
Three healthy dice. Yep.
Oh.
Do you want to use rational?
Well, that's a lot of dice.
You want to burn that? Oh.
2, 3, 4,
One.
5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Success. So you're able to put yourself behind your fellows,
Yeah.
and Faulkner, your spear collides with it as it swings its blade wildly at you. Thankfully, Seth, your shield is able to intercept most of these, but Faulkner, the sword is meaning to cut your ears off, or at least maim your face in some manner. The tired voice of this mouse, it is a mouse, you know it is swinging wildly, frantically, and realize the sword that you found with those skeletons, they were certainly Basil's sword, but you don't recall an axe being amongst the weapons that
This is
belong
one
to
of
the
the young
Templar.
fears. Yeah.
So this scrawny mouse flails wildly with a sword that has similar make and design to Basil's.
Yeah.
And she flails wildly, trying to reach you, burrowing the tip of the halberd deeper into her front until it falls.
will leap into
the
it.
blade falls to the ground.
Can I try
And
and
she-
knock the weasel hat off?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that can be a part of this. Luke, your bow, your arrow struck true, and it is limping as it pulls itself away. Your shield bash collides with the skull, shattering the bone fragments, and you see underneath is a blonde-furred mouse. The rest of him, or her, is covered in this dirt and muck. But the face, after being in the skull for so long, sort of protecting it and hiding, not only, I'd say, the things it has done to others, but also concealing its real identity, even to itself. And this thing is maddened, wailing now as it retreats into this tunnel, limping, bracing itself against the wall.
Can I try and lasso it?
Yeah, I'd say you can gear that up and you yank it back down to the ground with a harsh pull. And it's so tired, it's so worn down by chasing you and by the 2 wounds it has taken that it simply lies limp now on the ground. Its pride and its only identity shattered.
What on earth has happened to you?
It's on the ground, yeah?
Yes.
It looks like one of them survived.
Heavily wounded, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible for Volker to run up and kick the sword away from it?
Yes.
While it's on the ground? Okay. Volker runs up and does that and drops to a knee, and as he does, he sort of looks over his shoulder and goes, "Help her!" And then sort of holds on to her head quite carefully. He's like,
"The guard's here. Relief is here. It's fine. It's fine. You've done fine. We're here now."
I would like to tie her hands up.
Her eyes, you can see the whites of her eyes as she's looking around and gnashing her teeth at you, uselessly so. Clawing. She's probably now in her late teens, but she has this feral nature about her. You can do the healer check to try to mend her wounds, but that's going to cost a player's turn check, because we are now in the player's turn. I have done all of my GM turn twists.
Yay!
You guys can take control.
So I think we need to
Can I use my player?
take her. Sorry, just gonna say I think we need to take her with us and get out of here quickly before the stout realizes what's missing.
Yes.
Your lore mouse would let you know that Basil's tender paw was named Natalie.
Mandalay? Okay. Whilst the other, like, to help the healing and tying up and everything that's going on, I want to use that knowledge and potentially use either my old fur trait or lore mouse, whatever it is, to sort of like when you're a soldier and you're training, right? There's a lot of drill and there's lots of shouts and you sort of condition him to react to certain things. So he's going to start like giving orders to the soldier, relying on the fact that he's an old fur and he's going to be like commanding this young soldier to, relief is here, stand to,
that is a
put
great
down your
idea.
arms.
Here's what I want. I want a healer check, obstacle 3. I want a survivalist check, obstacle 2. I want a lore mouse check, obstacle 3.
I've got survivalist 4.
I will assist you with my survivalist then.
I've only got lore mouse 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got healer 2. I've also got lore mouse 2, but I can also help with whatever. What check are we doing first?
Let's do the heal check.
Okay. Does anybody else have heal?
Yes.
I have healed,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of tied up with the survivalist, I think.
Okay, cool. So I'll do the healer check. Does anybody want to help me?
I feel
I
like
don't know
I'm
if I
too
can.
busy carrying that other unconscious mouse, so I'm gonna be stuck.
Okay. I would like to use.
If I'm able to help, I will, but I think I'm a bit busy. So.
It's all good. No. If I can, I would like to use my tough trait, because this is emotionally very hard. This is a young mouse who is literally almost feral, totally broken down, so I'm gonna use the tough trait to keep emotionally like there. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's great.
Okay, so that's 1, 2.
2. Okay. She's gonna be crippled, basically. The bow shot that Luke did, it hit her flank. That's gonna get infected over the trip because it's not a clean environment. She's barely gonna be conscious through this. And she's not gonna be able to serve after this. But she is she's sort of lucid enough for your lore mouse check.
Okay.
Can I hit the lore mouse with Persuader?
Yes, you can help that with Persuader.
Cool. Could I use my
I'll
old
help
fear
out with
trait?
lore.
Because, yeah. I think that's okay.
Okay. Alright, so, okay. That's not good. That's not good.
No,
Did you add your? Did you add this?
You managed to outdo my bad roll at the beginning.
Here's what I think. You start rolling this stuff out, and she comes to slightly. She says,
Basil, I can't stop them. They'll escape. Everywhere. Basil, my sword, I can't reach it.
and she is going to essentially think that you're Basil for a trip. And it's going to break your heart. You are angry.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
are you, Faulkner. You're angry too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well-
she's talking.
Yes.
She's speaking.
Okay. We got one more roll to make, right?
Yes, the
survivalist
survivalist check?
I think. Yeah.
Okay,
To tie her
so
up.
I wanted to use my bodyguard trait to, protect the party, and then I believe one person was helping me.
I will assist you, yeah. I've got survivalist.
You get plus
So that'll
one
be,
from the gear that Faulkner's rope grants you. That's a good use in your stuff.
Okay, so that's going to be a total of 76 then?
Sounds like it.
'cause-
Obstacle
okay.
3, I believe. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice. Not bad. Restraining this mouse is successful. For the rest of the journey, you will be able to transport her. You'll need at least 2 mice to carry her in a stretcher. But you'll thankfully be able to stop her from hurting herself in her struggles and in her ravings. She's very, 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 very damaged during her time.
Okay.
Game Dark Heather. We have maybe a few more checks to go. If you guys want to find the means to, I'd say, wrap up each of your missions and story. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and say, on your journey back, you do come across a cart led by a male mouse in a purple hood. It's a covered wagon. And he stops in the same town that you guys are in, and he starts selling wares.
I go up to him. Hello, friend. It looks like you have some nice wares here.
Oh yes, quite excellent wares. Name's Artemis. It's good to see ya. And just making a show, everybody. Relics from the Winter War beyond the scent border. Fair trade, plenty of stories to tell, and luck to have. Some of the
I'm going to signal
finest.
to Eugenia, point at my shield, point at his head, and see what you say.
It looks like this would be a hard job to get all of these relics for just one person. It seems almost as if you are.
He stiffens up at that and says, "Oh, not actually. Those Dark Heather tunnels there abandoned. There's nothing down there but bones, easy pickings and fine, rare trade for anybody willing. Only risky part is going past the scent border, honestly. Risk my life to.
You left your friends there. You just
your
left them there
partner
to die.
there.
Do you have his friend there?
Yeah,
Is she
I was about
tied
to say
up?
she's probably still.
She
I'm
tied up?
taking her back to Lockhaven.
Yeah, we're
I
taking
would
her
imagine
back.
she's tied up.
Yeah, we're
Are
taking
you guys
her.
gonna try to arrest this guy?
Heck
Well,
yeah.
is it? Well, here first. Is it illegal? Is this something that's like illegal? Is this something that the matriarch was like?
Well, we were told about these people. We were supposed
We
to
were
stop
told
them,
to
right?
do justice to the
Yeah.
robbers.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to
So
stop them?
At the same time,
Well,
though,
you
aren't we in
can-
a town, so we don't have jurisdiction?
Exactly. You would basically have
Yeah.
to argue with the law and say, we have jurisdiction here. We're taking control of this guy. We're arresting him. Make an administrator check.
Could I? Like, does anyone here have administrator? If not, I have a plan.
Ooh, plans.
I have Persuader, which I
No,
could help.
I have a better
with.
plan than that.
Okay, what's your plan?
Okay, so nobody has administrator. I want to turn to the crowd, and I will use my guard's honor to play into the fact that this person has gone into sacred weasel ground, has stolen glorious guard relics, and is trying to peddle them. This petty criminal.
Defiled.
We need to take
sacred
him back, so that we can inflict justice on this person.
Do you
I
have
assist with
orator?
Persuader.
Yes,
Roll
I do.
some orator.
I have orator
Have you
2.
burned your nature yet?
Can I
No,
assist with
that's-
Persuader?
I will burn a point to allow to add my nature to this, which is 6 points.
Yeah, appeal to their mousy nature.
So I will roll 9d6 to appeal to the crowd to bring justice to this criminal.
Lovely. I love
Nothing
this.
like mob justice.
5. Nothing like mob
No,
justice.
we are not. We are not resorting to mob justice. We will take him to court and confiscate his wares.
I'm gonna say I was not gonna make this obstacle very high because this is ridiculous. But I'm going to go ahead and roll for him because I want to see how well he does. Let's see,
Let's see.
he has 3 orator. Better than I thought. He puts up a petty excuse saying, "Oh, you see what the guard are doing? They're coming to your towns and saying who they can arrest and who they can't. You do this, they're just go." And then before that, he gets mobbed. You guys have to drag him out of it before he gets like beaten or stabbed. Yeah, he and his sister, not that you realize, are glaring at each other really nastily. Yeah,
What are their names, by the way?
Regina and Artemis. Their brother, who they kind of mentioned,
Oh.
his name was, let me drink. Oh, my coffee's cold. His name was, Didi.
Well, I am sorry we could not save your brother. That is the price of going to Dark Heather. Now we will take you to Lockhaven, where we will decide what to do with the relics, and then we shall see what happens to you two. However, I do wish to let you know that you regret not being able to save your brother.
Yes.
So you shouldn't have been there anyway.
Yeah.
You
Wouldn't
idiot.
have needed saving if you weren't there.
Alright.
Your brother died trying to save you, and you just left him there.
Through.
Oh, he
Artemis says,
Oh,
he knew the price! He knew the price!
Shield to the
Oh,
head.
no,
Rich, if you Mouseguard wouldn't have come here.
At this, I'm going to
slack him on the back of the head just to shut him up. Eugenia has had enough. You be quiet. I do not want to hear your poisonous mouth anymore. Shut up. I do not know. No more of this stuff. We are going back to your cabin.
The way you treat other mice, you belong in Dark Heather. You're basically a weasel. And I spit in his face.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Lloyd is out for blood.
Yeah.
Nice logo.
Fuck this guy.
Wow.
Lloyd,
You-
oh my
you are
god.
a true
did you see
mouse.
that? Alright, so this is the moment where we go over our goals, and did everybody get what they wanted?
Before we get there, I just want to say,
Yeah.
during the trip, the whole way, Folker would have been holding on to our young guard's mice hand when it's been tied up. And one night, whilst she finally passes out, Tenderpaw, sorry, yeah. When she finally goes to sleep one night, and everyone's sitting around the campfire or whatever, he'd come out and say,
You know, I've been thinking a lot lately, and you lot make me bloody proud to be a fucking guard spice. Thank you. This is giving me
and he's just sort of speechless. But he's very conflicted about his normal self-serving nature at this point, I think.
She
It was
she
a pleasure
squeezes your
to-
paw.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, she squeezes your paw. And there's like a moment where you remember those eyes behind the weasel skull. And they were sharp and cold. And when she sort of groggily looks up, sees you, I imagine she tries to say something, and it just comes out as, "The sky's so beautiful."
Oof.
Considering that Folker's very aware that she thinks he's somebody else, and that she's lost it, that's pretty heartbreaking, eh? But you know, yeah.
Luke definitely feels super guilty for shooting her, but at the same time, it might have saved her in the end.
You guys could have
That's
killed
it.
her. Could have just done her in.
Well, I'm glad we didn't.
I mean,
She certainly was dangerous enough.
Yeah.
Certainly was.
She held her post, man. She did more than you could ask any soldier to do for a long time.
Long after the war was over.
Yeah.
She couldn't get that fucking stoat though.
Nori!
That's the
Okay,
next
guys.
one
I'm
shot.
just imagining Nori back in the
Yeah.
Dark Heather just being like, "The bones! Those mice, they took the bones!"
They took my buns! No!
Nice!
Do you guys have any more story bits that need to happen before we ask everybody what they think of Mouseguard?
I think I'm pretty
Just-
satisfied with how it went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for being the best patrol. I appreciate all of you, and I cannot put into words how proud I am of each and every one of you for being true to your nature and for just being great guards mouse.
Aww.
Thank you.
Group hug.
That
I give Lloyd a
Eugenia
hug.
is. Can we all just like pile hug on Lloyd? Because I feel
Yay.
like in real life I just want to
love Lloyd.
give. Oh,
Pile
Thanks,
hug!
Abby.
That's so great. Well, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Encounter Roleplay, for letting us play Mouseguard for
Seriously?
hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can keep going though, right? Like, because I'm down. I can call in 6 tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah, let's play all day. All night.
Sorry guys, the rest of the 48-hour stream is just Mouseguard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What's all this D&D stuff? Like,
We could do it.
dragons? Who needs dragons when you have flying squirrels,
Lizards.
weasels, lizards?
Yeah.
I want an iguana in the next episode.
A dragon is nothing until you've seen a black bear when you're the size of a mouse.
Oh my god.
And that's one of my favorite parts about this game is that it takes like something so little and it makes a grand adventure out of it. It's great.
Yeah.
You guys did amazingly. So proud of you. So proud of you.
Thanks.
It was
I really enjoyed
absolutely
it.
amazing.
yeah.
That was so much
everyone
fun.
was great.
I loved every
Yeah,
moment
guys.
of it.
Thank you for
thank you guys
making
so
our
much for
morning
playing.
so good. Yes. It was a great
Thank you for
way to start
having
my
me.
morning.
This is the first time I've played something other than D&D, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
I was so happy about that. That's great.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Sure, you are like the master of Mouseguard. He is just
That's
the
what I
person
always
who will
call him.
come onto like somebody's channel and be like, "Let me introduce you to the wonders of Mouseguard. You haven't played before. Let me show you the wondrous path. I will lead you
Have
along."
you met Mouseguard?
I just want the bones. I just want them on the bones.
Oh, I'm gonna have nightmares
It's like-
about that stove.
This whole
Yeah.
session, it went from like fucking terrifying to like comedy gold to like some heavy feels at the end. It was like if you had
That was a
suggested
journey.
in a 2-hour one shot that you had gone through those sorts of roller coaster of emotions, I'd have been like, nah. But you did get that. You blew me away. Genuinely.
Forrest,
It was a very-
talented as heck.
Well-rounded, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's I want to attribute it personally to the design of Mouseguard. Mouseguard was kind of like the first RPG I ever picked up and took seriously, and it really opened up basically my whole avenue of style. It's dynamic, it focuses on character, and it makes the world seem so much more threatening with such simple means. And that, I think, is a big deal because the game is about fighting things that look like they are out of your zone, out of your realm of possibility. And it basically says you have to fight it anyways because you work for the greater good. And it feels
And it's so easy to imagine the scale of everything because everything's so common, you know. Everyone's seen a weasel and a mouse before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah.
Once again, thanks to the sponsors of Encounter Roleplay, and thanks again to all of you for starting your morning with us today.
My voice hurts.
But I
You should
have,
take a rest. Yeah.
but now I have to play Blades in the Dark with Not So Speedruns next.
Blades in the Dark is
That's a
great.
treat as
I
well.
am totally tuning in.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
You guys tune in for that because
Blades and Dark's amazing.
Yeah. We're gonna
Blades is so fun.
pass it off into a break, but we really appreciate everything. Thank you to all my players. You guys did great. I hope you had fun with Mouseguard. I hope you pick it up. And gosh darn, I love you guys. This is great.
Yay.
Great. I'm waving so that they know we can go on break. Okay.
There we go.